It's the night of Citigroup, and you've totally forgotten about it. As you scramble to write discussion questions and clean up the living room, you suddenly wonder, did everybody else forget about it too? Is there going to be anybody showing up tonight? And then you remember, oh wait, I think that one couple, they're on vacation. And that visitor, were they visiting this week or next week? And so an hour before you're supposed to meet, you shoot off a panicked text reminder to everybody. All of that could have been avoided with some good communication. Have you ever been there? Effective communication is one of the simplest, but often one of the most neglected parts of leading a group. Some of us just do it intuitively, while for others it's a struggle. So in this video, I want to give you 5 easy tips to help you communicate well with your group and lead them from afar. Tip number 1, aim for clarity and fun. These are the 2 goals I think we should have when communicating with our small groups. Clarity and then participation. Well, clarity is obvious. We want people to know when our groups are meeting, where they're meeting, what time, what are we discussing. We want people to know if we're taking a week off or if we're serving together somewhere. So be direct and brief when you're giving people information. But we also want fun participation in communication, which means that whatever format we use should be a two-way street. The win is not only when we get everybody on the same page, but when all of the group members keep in touch outside of the group, when somebody asks for prayer on a difficult day, or when someone sends a picture of their kids doing something cute, or even when everyone feels comfortable enough to send each other funny memes. Feel free to let your sense of humor loose, just like you would with your family. Technology has given us the ability to stay connected even when we're apart, so use it well to give your group the feel of a family. Tip number 2, choose a format that everyone will actually use. This should be obvious, but it's a helpful reminder. In general, we should use the communication method that our members actually like using. So you may love Facebook, and you have all sorts of ideas about setting up a group. But if nobody really uses Facebook, then what's the point? So ask the members of your group how they would like to keep in touch. Now, things like email threads and group text threads are okay, but they're kind of clunky and they don't allow for an easy back and forth conversation. Now, I don't want talking about technology to date this video too much, so rather than list off some apps that might not be helpful in the future, come and talk to me if you want ideas for upping your communication game. I have put a couple of apps in the notes below that are pretty commonly used in 2022, so check those out. In general, I've had success with apps that are designed for group messaging, especially if they offer the ability to have different threads for different topics. So for example, our group uses Slack right now, which lets us have a thread for prayer requests, a thread for scheduling, and then private threads for men's and women's DNA groups. But again, whatever you use, make sure people are excited to use it. Have a conversation about it. Tip number 3. Set a schedule for yourself with templates. It is so easy to set yourself a reminder to send a reminder to everyone else. Figure out how often you want to communicate. So for example, our group meets on Wednesdays, so I've set a reminder for myself to send everyone a note on Monday morning and then again on Wednesday morning. You could send the list of prayer requests out the morning after Citigroup. You could write a weekly Sunday night encouragement, whatever your group needs. Then to take it to the next level, write out a little template for yourself and then change the message a little bit every time. Citigroup friends, we are meeting this Wednesday at 6 p.m. We'll be at the fill-in-the-blank home, so here's the address. See you then. Make life easy for yourself. Make one decision now, and then you never have to make that decision again. You decide once what medium to use, when to send reminders, how to phrase those reminders with a template, and then you're all set to go. Barely requires any effort at all. Tip number 4. Follow up with one-on-one conversations. Sometimes in group messages, something will come up that requires a follow-up conversation. So remember that effective communication sometimes means a phone call or an in-person conversation, rather than a text or a message. Say a group member shares a prayer request about something that's really, really difficult. Make a note to yourself to give them a call to check in. Or say there's an awkward miscommunication and somebody's feelings are hurt. Remember the principles we discussed in the group dynamics video and bring up the elephant in the room the next time the group is together, just to make sure there's no lingering awkwardness. Even though things in communication are virtual, you are still the leader of the group messaging app. You're the moderator. And so it's your job to take the initiative anytime there needs to be some follow-up. Finally, tip number 5, add new members to the group immediately. Here's a secret strategy that's been really successful for me. Whenever you have a new person visit the group for the first time, add them to the communication group right away. Get them on the app, add them to the email list, whatever it is. Even if that person never shows up again, you are communicating that this group welcomes new people and makes it easy to be part of the family. They don't have to jump through hoops to join your city group. They're already getting the messages and the communication. And even if they want to stop getting messages from you, they can tell you. But otherwise, this simple step tells people, come on in. We're glad you're here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful in making communication easy for you. To really bring this home, spend some time thinking about this question. How is communication in my group going? Is there anything I can do to make it better? Till next time, leaders.